The night stretched endlessly along the deserted highway. A line of faded white paint divided two lanes that seemed to cut through the void, with nothing but shadows pressing from both sides. Behind the wheel, Alex adjusted his grip, feeling the steering wheel vibrate faintly under his palms. He had been driving for hours, yet the road seemed to fold in on itself, repeating turns and straights as though he were trapped inside a loop. The dashboard clock blinked to 37 a.m., though he could swear it had been stuck at that same time before. The hum of the tires became hypnotic, a lullaby mixed with unease. The radio crackled with static even though he had turned it off long ago. Once in a while, a burst of words whispered through the interference, half-sentences, fragments of voices. They weren't coming from any station, they sounded too close, too personal. His headlights caught something on the side of the road, what looked like a figure. He pressed the brakes gently, not wanting to lose control. The car slowed. For a moment, there was nothing, just trees leaning like skeletal guards. Then the figure moved. A man, a shadow, he couldn't tell. Alex blinked and it was gone. A chill rolled down his spine. He tapped the gas, pushing the car forward again. His eyes burned, dry from staring at the endless asphalt. But he didn't dare close them even for a blink too long. The gas needle was leaning dangerously close to empty. He had filled the tank before leaving. He was sure of it. He tapped the glass, hoping it was a glitch, but the needle trembled lower. On the horizon, faint lights shimmered. A gas station, maybe, or just a mirage. He had seen tricks like that before. Phantoms of neon signs dissolving when he got closer. Still, he couldn't risk running out. He pressed harder on the accelerator. The lights grew, forming the familiar outline of a small roadside station. An old sign squealed in the wind. Letters peeling, fuel, food, open 24 hours. The place looked abandoned despite the glow of its flickering lights. The pumps stood like rusted sentinels. Alex pulled in anyway, rolling down the window as the smell of dust and gasoline seeped in. No attendant, just silence. He stepped out, the crunch of gravel loud in the stillness. He inserted his card into the machine, spat it back with a mechanical beep. He tried again. Same result. Then the screen lit up with words he didn't expect. You shouldn't be here. His breath caught. He glanced around, heart hammering. The lot was empty. His car, the pumps, the silent store with its dark windows. He yanked the card back, shoved it in his pocket, and climbed quickly into the driver's seat. The engine roared to life too easily, as if it wanted him gone. In the rearview mirror, though, the station wasn't behind him anymore. Only darkness. The road bent into a sharp curve, the kind that warned drivers with yellow arrows. Alex slowed, but not enough. The tires screeched against the pavement, his headlights slicing through trees that seemed too close. He clenched his teeth, fighting the wheel back under control. When the car steadied, he let out a sharp breath, then froze. Someone was in the back seat. His eyes shot to the mirror. A blur. Shoulders, a head, motionless. His pulse thundered in his ears. He didn't want to turn around. He couldn't. He gripped the wheel until his knuckles whitened, forcing his gaze ahead. Keep driving. The voice was calm, quiet, but unmistakable. It came from the back seat. Alex's throat tightened. Who are you? His voice cracked, thin. Keep driving, the voice repeated. His foot trembled on the pedal. He wanted to slam the brakes, to hurl himself out onto the asphalt and leave the car behind. But his hands wouldn't move. It was as if invisible strings tied them to the wheel. Minutes dragged. He dared one more glance in the mirror. The seat was empty. Rain began suddenly, as though the sky had split open. The wipers struggled against the sheets of water, blurring the road into a smear of black and silver. Thunder cracked above, shaking the windows. Each flash of lightning lit the landscape in snapshots, trees bent in agony, a fence broken, shadows too tall to be real. Through the storm, headlights appeared ahead. Another car, Relief swelled in Alex's chest. He wasn't alone out here. He honked lightly, signaling. The other vehicle, a black sedan, kept approaching. Too fast, too steady. As it neared, Alex realized the driver's seat was empty. No one behind the wheel. The sedan passed him with inches to spare, wind buffeting his car. He twisted in his seat to watch it vanish into the sheets of rain, its taillights swallowed by darkness. When he turned back, his own headlights reflected something white, a sign, standing crooked by the road. He squinted through the rain. The letters were faint but readable. "You can't escape the road." His stomach dropped. He gripped the wheel tighter. The storm showed no sign of stopping. Exhaustion gnawed at him. His eyelids sagged, heavy as stone. He slapped his face, rolled down the window, let the icy rain sting his skin. Still, sleep clawed at the edges of his mind. The hum of the tires grew louder, almost rhythmic, like a heartbeat. Boom, 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 boom. His vision blurred, the lines of the road bending into strange shapes. He blinked hard and saw, for an instant, a crowd standing along the shoulder, faces pale, eyes fixed on him. Dozens, maybe hundreds, watching, waiting. When he blinked again, they were gone. He pressed the pedal harder. The speedometer climbed. He didn't care about the wet road, the danger. He needed distance from whatever was stalking him. But the faster he went, the more the road changed. The asphalt cracked into veins. The paint lines bled red. The car shuddered violently, but he couldn't stop. His hands were locked, his foot pinned down. The engine screamed louder and louder, until it didn't sound mechanical anymore. It sounded alive. The dashboard flickered. Lights danced. Speed, temperature, fuel numbers, spinning out of control. His radio snapped back on, static exploding into the cabin. Through it, a voice hissed. "Turn back," he shouted. "Back where?" "There's nothing back there." The voice didn't answer. Instead, the windshield fogged from the inside. Words etched themselves into the mist, drawn by invisible fingers. "IT's already behind you." His chest tightened. He glanced at the rearview mirror. Nothing but blackness beyond the weak glow of his taillights, but the feeling something breathing down his neck, something filling the car was undeniable. He swerved, the car nearly tipping. Tires screamed against the wet pavement. He tried to stop, to pull over, but the brakes no longer responded. The car surged forward, as if pulled by a force stronger than him. The road ahead vanished into fog, dense and impenetrable. His headlights lit nothing, yet he kept moving, swallowed whole. And still, behind the wheel, Alex couldn't stop driving.